qualifying practice today, but we will also be having qualifying heats that will be taking part later today before we end the day. And today we will complete the qualifying practice and heats for all. And for now, first round here we have Micromax, and their qualifying practice will go short immediately right now as the karters get out onto the track itself. Live timing is available. If you are here, feel free to scan the live timing QR codes. If you are not there, please feel free to log into livetiming.asia and you can see the current results there. We have another almost 5 minutes to go for all 9 drivers of the Micromax session, and this will be qualifying practice to set the grid for the heat that is coming later. As the first karters cross the line for their first laps, only indicative, only an out lap. We see already a 3-kart streamline forming up there, and now into turn 3, going down into the grass as well. This is the first qualifying practice of the day, Micromax. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are just joining us online on the live stream, there are another 3.5 minutes to go. This is RMC Asia Trophy 2025 Round 2 at the Sepang International Kart Circuit. Micromax is going to another 3 minutes and a half to go before we set the grid for the first qualifying. Currently we have Micromax, and we will have many others of Junior, Nathan Alexander Kwong setting the pace there with a position there 56.214 seconds out there in provisional pole position. So with 1 more minute to go, the grid and we have a new leader in the form of Chenafat, which has gone fastest with a lap time of 55.822. The closest leader, Kaylen Dacey, as well, is now behind him by 1/10, 12 tenths actually. And there you go. Mason Alexander Kwong now taking the second position with a 55.9. Seems like the track is getting faster with every lap that they put on those track with the rubber that they have there. It is getting quicker and quicker as our leaders are piling on the pressure and going faster and faster every single lap. So Jennifer now with the 5.822, followed by Mason Alexander Kwong, only 1/10 behind. So it's only 20 more seconds to go. This will probably be the penultimate lap for most kart racers out there. And as it's only 10 more seconds before the checkered flag will fly for this qualifying. You are first joining us on this session there. It's only and the end. And it is an extremely short qualifying practice for them to set the grid to come for the next qualifying heat to come. We will have racers completing their final laps and heading back to the pits to move on to the next category. As we wait for the final the line, your current results, your current leader is Chinapat Vejabuti, followed by Mason Alexander Kwong, followed by Kalen Dacey, and Jirah has just crossed the line to take 4th position, followed by Nut Surang also coming in at 5th, and Tanach is coming in at 6th, followed by Arthur, Ishan, and Saif 9. So 3 more karts to go as they all cross the line. No change in position. There you have it. This is your visual grid at the moment. You're seeing on the screens the live timing as well. Chinapat followed by Kalen Dacey, followed by Nutsurang, Ishan, Jirach, Tanach, Arutran, and Zai 9. Micromax qualifying practice now over. We will have the next category coming up shortly as well. That will be Minimax, followed by Junior and DD2, and then Senior and Max Masters as well. So this is the provisional qualifying practice results for this session, led by Chinapat, followed by Mason Alexander Kwong, followed by Kalen Delcy, Nutsurang, Ishan, Jirach, Anach, Arutaran, and also Saif Zulkar. So stay with us. We'll be back shortly for the next Minimax. And welcome back once again. You're looking at live scenes from the Sepang International Kart as well. This is the next category that's going out for qualifying practice, Minimax, at the RMC Asia Trophy here at Sepang International Karting Circuit. Another 5 more minutes and a half to go, and this will be qualifying practice for all of them. Only 5 in this category. All Pongpan Sutum, a well-known name, and also some of the names that are well-known in this category going out for their qualifying practice. All 5 of them. Now remember, there's all to or as the winners eventually at the end of the year will get a ticket to go to the grand final of the ROTAX Max Challenge. So this is something, and for all the drivers up here, but Hearts is still sitting in the and Pira Pongpan, he's the first to go out on track in the Singha Motorsports yellow card there. Yes, on stream right now might be something interesting going on there as the Singha Motorsport card of Peter Pongpan left on its own before the rest, and finally the DT Motorsport card has just left the pits as well. More interestingly, the Stratos RL cards have all left in succession with each other, maybe some teamwork at play there. So let's see if one of the Stratos RL cards can indeed secure provisional pole for this qualifying. the checker is out as the racers all cross the line. They will be all finishing seconds now. Moment is Tanawara sitting comfortably in provisional pole. The DD Motorsports car that left the last lap, and he will be basically crossing the line with 10 more seconds to go. With a lap time of 53.93. As he crosses the line, the Saudi car is now in provisional pole with DT Motorsports. So, second position we have Patapol, followed by Chayakon, Virapongpan in the Singha, and Papasatorn in the Stratos are rounding up 5 carts of Mini Max. Qualifying practice happening here at the Sepang International Kart Circuit. So there you have it. This is the results for the Max qualifying practice, which has just come seconds ago, and you're looking at the 5 cars that are duking it out for positions that ultimately went the way of the Saudi driver, taking provisional pole, moving on to the qualifying heats, which will happen later in the day. And as of now, continue all the way till we close today, because next up is Junior Max qualifying practice with 10 carts out there. In the next few seconds we will be sending them out. Here we go, the air siren rings and engines are fired up. Carts are now filling out onto the track itself. It seems like this time around all carts are going out, unlike the Junior Max that happened, unlike the Mini Max that happened before. This is Junior Max. Everyone is on the move. There you have it. You have the yellow card of Pumsit Club by the 290 or 201 of Stratos RL. Now these machines are not quick enough and they don't have enough aero to have a significant aero benefit if you're following a driver behind, if you're following a driver in front of you. However, what you can do is that you can use the lines as he's using. You can see how the track is gripping based on how the competitor in front of you is cornering. But also, the risk is that there might be a risk whereby you are following in their mistakes as well, as they all cross the line now to start their first flying lap of the Junior Max qualifying practice that will be happening today here at the Sepang International Karting Circuit. So this is one of the more competitive classes there. Junior Max, one of the most interesting races, one of the best racing that I've ever casted throughout my entirety of my career. And we're looking forward to see 10 of them take it out on this 1.1. In the front there, we have Pumsik Klomjong in the Singha Motorsports car leading the way, followed by Hamish Campbell in the 201 following right behind there. All 125cc cars there, almost similar to a senior size now. This is the next stage after the Mini Max. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Junior Max. Mika of Dying Abdul Rahman. That is not qualifying practice of intent from Mika Slabat as he overtakes Dying Abdul Rahman down at turn number 3. So there you have it. This is your current provisional pole. Hamish Campbell in the car 201 leading the way with Nadal Imjipanya behind him as well. But in the front there, Pumsit Klomujong punching a hole in the air for Hamish Campbell as he sets the fastest lap this time around with a 51.293. You have a sticking on the back of the bumper is Hamish Campbell on the back of Pumsit Klomujong, makes the move, although this clearly this is not a race, but now Pumsit will have the line to follow. Hamish is now looking for provisional pole, and Pumsit is now P3 with Mika Slabat, the man on the move, now on to P2. So here we go. At the moment, the grid looks like this. Hamish Campbell first, followed by Mika Slabat. Pumsit Klomujong in the Singha, tailing close behind, followed by Taswang Siri, Nadal Imjipanya, Sahil Singh, Ng Jun Yik, Xavier Fabrizio Santoso, Daing Abdul Rahman, and Kian Shah. Two more minutes to go. And there you have it. Once again, we have a change in the top. Mika Slabat now in first position. The man on the move clocked in at 51.06. And followed by Taswang Siri. Hamish Campbell is now pushed down to third position. Pumsit Klomujong securing fourth for himself. This is shaping to be extremely competitive with the entire grid split up and basically differentiated by 1 second only. The entire grid of first to P10, P1 to P10 only separated by 1 second. So very easy to spot there. The yellow card, the Singha Motorsport card of Pumsit Klomujong there. There you have it. So we have the next checker flag coming out in a few more seconds now. We have 5 more seconds to go until the flag flies. And here we go. Officially the end of the session. Qualifying practice for Junior Max is now officially over. All drivers will cross the line one last time and then return to pits. There you have it. At the last possible minute, Hamish Campbell takes provisional pole from Mika Slabat to go quickest with a time of 51 flat. So incredible times from Hamish Campbell there. And the final card to cross the line is Nadal Imjipanya. Will he manage to make it? No, he does not. So Nadal finishes in P4. There you have it. Hamish Campbell is your provisional pole, and also Junimax pole position, followed by Mika Slabbert, Tas Wang Siri, Nadol Imjit Panya, Pumsit Klumbunjong started well but now finished in 5th. Sahil Singh, Kian Shah, Daing Abdul Rahman, Ng Jun Yik, and followed by Xavier Fabrizio Santoso. So there you have it. That's the highlights from the previous session. Now we have Max DD2 Masters. Hey, there you go. There have it. The 125cc 2-stroke, 2 gears, and this will be their qualifying practice. You're looking at number 533. I believe that is Jeremy Nyam sitting in the pit, sitting in the cool shade before they go out. But at the moment, 2 cars are out. Stratos RL. Kenny Young Yitang and Roger Young out on track to put in the first laps for this Max DD2 Master. They have now the track all to themselves, but let's see if they open up the gap sometime soon. We're looking at 5:33. Jeremy Young has now just left the pits, and also Chen Ping Hao has also gone out and started his lap as well. Oh, there you go. Everyone is taking their own sweet time. No, you go first. I insist. No, you go first. There you go. There you have it. So, DD2 Max Masters is going on qualifying right now. Roger Young putting his foot down and pulling away from the rest of the crowd there. Off he goes to set his first lap. And he's going to start by coming down the straight for his first time for the first flying lap of this session, Max DD2 Masters qualifying practice. Following the action, where we are looking at Roger Young and also Kenny Young out there on their first flight lap. Who is going to go on the front of the grid? And we're looking at Roger Young, and this is now attention swapped over to Jeremy Young in the RL Stratos car there, navigating through the circuit as he comes across another slow-moving car, overtakes him and gets on about doing his business just after the Mickey Mouse chicane there. So as he enters the second part of the lap there, Jeremy Young in the 5:33 looking really strong there as Roger Young crosses the line and takes pole position and just about gets surpassed by Chen Ping Hao, which is now 50.08 into first place. only 5 cards on the track there. Ung Chun Wei of RUD Karting is at the moment a no-show for qualifying practice. So only 5 cards out there at the moment, with Ung Yi Tang leading the way. Kenny Ung in pole position, followed by Roger Young, which is the one you're currently following on the screens right now. Roger Young in second position, followed by Chen Ping Hao. All of them separated by no 3/10 of a second. Actually, so 50.001 separated and 50.303 of Jeremy Yam. 0.3 seconds separates the rest. The entire grid there, basically a blink of an eye. They go 567, that is Chen Ping Hao, which was in provisional pole and got demoted now to third place. Chen Ping Hao from FR Racing coming across the line there, and he basically keeps the same position, has a slow lap there, but Ung Yi Tang is really the man on the move, and he, to my screens, he has already entered the pit, perhaps opting to save tires, but Chen Ping Hao is still out there trying to craft out some lap time. They're obviously not fully happy with his current position at P3 right now. So card number 533, Jeremy Yam going slowly through the last bend, setting up for the next lap. Oh, he's coming into the pits itself. Jeremy Yam is into the pits as they complete their session. Chen Ping Hao, the last card on track that you're looking at, 567. That is Chen Ping Hao, and he should be coming back to pits, ending the session while the clock is going down. Last for 10 more seconds to go before the checkered flag flies. So this should be it for the DD2 Masters. As Chen Ping Hao, the 567, raises his arm and comes into the pits. That is it. The checker flag is out. Session is over, and all drivers are back in the pits. This is the results as we see it. Kenny Ung Yi Tang leading in pole position, provisional pole, followed by Roger Young in P2, both from Stratos RL, followed by Chen Ping Hao of FR Racing, Scott Howard, a stalwart here at Sepang, and followed by Jeremy Yam, completes the entire DD2 Max Masters grid. So there you have it. That is DD2 Max Masters. Coming up next, we have Senior Max and Max Master flying practice. This is without a doubt the biggest grid that we have today this weekend, and a grand total of 20 starts will be duking out there in Sepang International Karting Circuit coming shortly. In the next 6 minutes, we will be coming over in the next 6 minutes, we will have the entire Senior Max and Max Master grid out on track, trying to do the best laps before we enter the heats. And that is where the action is going to start. So those of you who are joining us at the RMC Asia Trophy, welcome, selamat datang, and we welcome you to join us in this day. You have not missed anything because qualifying is about to be over, and once that is done, we have the first races start. siren sounds, we have now the biggest group. Let's take a look at this organized chaos as all the carts roll out of the pit lane and onto the track itself. This is RMC Asia Trophy. You are looking at a grand total of 26 carts that will be going out there to conduct their qualifying practice sessions. Only 6 minutes, so not a second to spare as the entire grid now filters out onto the track. We are very familiar with this track, Sepang International Karting Circuit, 1.2 kilometers of pure cornering and pure driving performance out there. But let's see how these 26 drivers navigate this today. So if you're joining us here from the live stream or also on the side of the track there, welcome, welcome, welcome. Selamat datang ke Malaysia. Welcome to Malaysia. I'm Kelvin. I'll be your MC and commentator for today. And you are watching Senior Max and Max Masters, our final category for today, Qualify Practice. The biggest grid of 26 cards starting now. Here we go. It's a bit packed up as usual. 26 cards will do just that to you. All our racing drivers are waiting for the queue to pass before filtering into itself, the queue. So no mistakes can be done. If you lose track position, you might just find yourself in a world of hurt as you have to then give up position and basically find a slot to filter into. 26 on a 1 kilometer track is a recipe for fun, excitement, and also interesting racing. Your final category, Senior Max and Max Master qualifying practice. Left to go. All our drivers are putting down their indicative laps, and we have the leaders starting to emerge. If you're looking at the timing screens now, everything is going absolutely ballistic with movement up and down the entire chart there as Toby Gale comes across the track. At the moment, in provisional pole with there's more pace. 6 drivers filter into a gap of their own. Try. There are 2 more minutes to go. Toby Gale still the old man. To him, Aaron Riker at 47 point, going to 50 of DRM Racing Team, racing the parallel chassis there. So Aaron Riker is your current pole man with 1.45 minutes to go to end the session. Looking at 3-2-3, that's Toby Gale in the MRC Racing. Here we go. Toby strikes back. Toby with 0.82 lap time completed there. That's Toby Gale for MRC Racing back on the top of his perch there. As now 5 now dropping 49-second barrier, breaking that barrier in the street. Indeed. And that is Toby Gale, Zarif Raikal, Mohammad Fesros, Ferzril, Siri Konsiri, Luke Armstrong. all within the 49 seconds. And down there we have Trish Gupta, Austin Gale, Payak Korn, Michael Cole, Dain Ibrahim, Ahil McLeod, Tana Fob, Lucas Leong, Paco Miguel, Zachary Chaichon, Lakash Manish, Thomas Jacob, Daniel Harris, Lim Xiaoyang, Alpesh Kumar, Krishay Gute, Tan Mei Gutari, Harith bin Zariel O, Zain Tan, Megat Zulkarnain, and Abu Ashami, rounding up the entire grid. 8.4 seconds separate P1 to P26. Blink and you will miss it. Another 12 more seconds to go to the waving of the checker flag. I foresee the entire group will finish their last lap before they go in, as this is an extremely competitive positioning here, as Toby Gale now comes across the line and completes his lap. They are all finished. They are all crossing the line right now. They're done with a qualifying practice, and we should see the results coming shortly on our screens right now. Checker flag is out. Some drivers indeed have already went inside the pits as well, opting not to finish the entire 6 minutes of this qualifying practice. Confident in their position or saving tires for the future, you decide. So there you have it, finish. Checker flag is out. And we have Toby Gale in provisional pole, followed by Zarif Raikal, followed by Muhammad Feroz Fezril, Siri Kong Siri, Luke Armstrong, Chris Gupta, Austin Gale, Payak Korn, Aram Sarami, Ko Jun Cheng, Daing Ibrahim, Ahil McLeod, Mikael, Lakash Manish, Thomas Jacob, Daniel Harris, Lim Xiaoyang, Alpesh Kumar Patel, Krishay Gute, Tanmay Kothari, Harith bin Zairil O, Zain Tan, Megat Zulkarnain, and Abu Ash Shahmi. And that is your 26-part grid qualifying practice for Senior Max and Max Master. Without further ado, the next action is number one, that is of Micromax, happening shortly in the few minutes. We don't have a break here, so don't go away because we are starting qualifying number one with 8 laps of racing and Micromax in the next few minutes. See you shortly. Track side, welcome to those that are joining us on our live stream. This is the Sepang International Karting Circuit, RUD Sepang, that is hosting the RMC Asia Trophy. We have Micromax going out for qualifying heat number 1. This is the first racing action on track that we'll see, and we have our list of drivers out on there right now, being led away by cart number 78, that's Chinafat, followed by Mason Alexander Kwong in P2. So out there in the grid, what's going to happen is that they're going to form up to a formation, 2 lines there in the tram line, as they have just a few more turns to go. Everyone needs to bunch up in a straight line, rows of 2, before they are allowed. For joining us for the there, if in case there are any breakaways of the entire group, or if the race director has deemed to be not sufficiently well executed, we can always call a go. Start the race, where all the racers will then make another formation. At the moment, pretty solid down there as they all come straight down the line there. We're looking at the flag man there. It's yellow. It will be a restart. We will have a race restart. No go. We will have a race restart, and the racers are required to form back into line, into formation itself, to go for one more extra start. So race control inadequate, and they will the race with the drivers then forming up into formation once again. One has the memo with him out there in front there, so he's just leading the way all the way, and finally slowing down for the reformation one more time. So this time memo well received. So Micromax, the most junior of our karters here, they're going to reform the grid, they're going to reform the action as they go into the penultimate turn before they head down the main starting line once again. Remember, they have to be in a tram line, so they have to be straight with each other before they're allowed to power down onto the track. Turn 1 and 2 for their first racing lap. So as of now, has been formation lap has been recommenced as the racers now come across the start finish line, getting ready to come across the start finish line once again in anger as their engines scream down the straight once again as instructions are there. Keeping the tram line, here we go. That is group racing as first action goes in. This Mason Alex now into the lead there. What a fantastic move on the outside there, absolutely slamming his weight on the outside of turns 1 and 2. Mason Alexander Kwong taking the lead of the race. Team man in the 29 card is now in race lead. Oh, here we go. Coming closely is Chinapat, taking a deeper, tighter and quicker line through the Mickey Mouse. The 78 card of DD2 Motorsports now down into P2, but now out as he fights back. Mason Alexander Kwong now in the lead, but the pack is now chasing him down. Will he be able to hold this up there? This is Micromax qualifying heat number 1. Here we go, action in the mid-pack as well. That is car number 5, Aruthuran, fighting with the rest of Jira and as well. Looking at that, Mason Alexander Kwong looking behind there. He's in the lead right now. Jirapat hunting him down in the DD Motorsport car. But wow, what a melee down in the middle pack positions there. I believe that will be Tanaj and Jiraj dueling it out for position. Motorsports cards absolutely giving it everything they got. The orange Sodi cars there that you can see are fighting with, not with each other, but with the other. As Kailan Daisy of DRS is now pushing them, and Nutsurang is trying to push through them as well. But look at that, Mason Kwong leading the bodyweight outside on the outside wheels, acting as a diff to turn the car around quicker. Look at that discipline, body control and also kart control there. But Chinapat is not giving up. The pole position man is sticking close to the back of Mason Alexander Kwong there as they enter lap 3 of qualifying heat number 1. Whoa, there you go. There's a spin there. It's card number 35, Kailan Daisy. Now remember, those of you who are looking at that, there is no rear brakes on these cards. So there's a spin around there, a little bit over braked into turns 1 and 2, and Kailan spins his cart around, giving up the position. But in the mid-pack there, the fight continues. The DD Motorsports cards now ganging up on Nutsurang of Garage Complete. There you go, there is the replay. Oh, look at that, 35. Great move from Kailan there to just basically use the brake a bit more, avoid the collision, but in that case, surrendering his race position. As of now, coming down the straight once again, we have the 29 of Mason Alexander Kwong, and he's the race lead at the moment, turning it aggressively into turn 1, maybe not wide enough, as Chinapat now has the advantage out of turn 3 now. Chinapat will look to close the gap, going down into the Mickey Mouse complex there. Mason is really giving it everything, but Chinapat is right on his gearbox. Really great traction from Mason. He retains his lead as well, retains his advantage, and the rest are just 2 seconds behind these two. So you are looking at the fight between the leaders, Mason Alexander and also Chinapat. And at the back there, Nutsurang of Garage Complete has made the move up into the podium places. He's now in P3 as well. That's great for the Thai driver. Oh, look at that, that's switched around. There you go. That's Mason and Chinapat giving each other the left and righties. The switch from Mason and also Chinapat. The action on the track at the moment. That is good racing. Advantage out of Mickey Mouse there, really giving it all he can physically, and also I'm sure pushing the car to do more than what it possibly can physically, beyond the limit. There you have it, Mason Kwong there, but he's giving it up. But just look at that chin apart behind him. He's just calm, collected. Ethan Hunt, cool, like 007 on the hunt there. That is chin apart. As he comes again, cross the fastest lap time, but just broken. Mason Alexander Kwong there. Different line once again. Chin apart carrying more speed. He's going to go for the attack now on the inside. He has the position. Big move from Chinapan on Mason Alexander Kwong, but it is not done there. Mason Kwong is now on the inside for Mickey Mouse. He has the insides, takes the apex, and now retains the lead of the race. What a great move between the young partners out there. Not done. He's going left and right, doing the switchback. Everyone so again, Mason moving in to close up the gaps, respectfully leaving the racing room on the outside, on the inside. He's turning his head to find where is this guy now. Well, there you go. He's on your inside now. So very close racing between Mason Kwong and Chinapan. Chinapan now takes the lead. Oh, great control from the race director and broadcast following the action out there. These two are in a class of their own there. But now Mason Kwong on the inside. Whoa! There you go. Great control now. And holding the lead, taking the lead back from Chinapan once again. The penultimate lap is on. These two are side by side as they enter the Mickey Mouse once again into the chicane. Into the complex they go. Mason Kwong once again in front there. Chinapan with the wider line with the switchback once again. And now action continues onto the second part of the track there. Mason absolutely giving it 120%, but Chinapan just calm, collected, cool. 007 on the move right now. Wow! Different lines there. Are you watching the same race as I am? Because I am excited about what's going to happen when these move on to Minimax, Junimax, and then great action down here at the SIKC. Oh, penultimate, we're not done. The attack now on the penultimate turn there, down the main start finishing line. One more lap to go. One more lap to go. This is the final lap. And the race is on between those two. Once again, Alexander on the outside now, securing his lead into turns 1 and 2. So here we go, Chinapan now on the inside once again. But Mason will have the inside line for Mickey Mouse. Will he just slam it into the face of Chinapan? Yes, he does. Chinapan now does the switchback once with the last street incredible defensive line from Mason there. Clean driving, but leaving the racing room for a fellow competitor out there is a really respectful driving from both of them there. Great action as we go into the second part of the track there. Chinapan with now the advantage on the turn. Correct lines, and now has the inside for the next turn. Oh, I think he has it. He probably has it for this one. They're coming up to the final turn. Oh no, he does not. Mason on the inside now, who has the traction to power it down the straight. What a finish for qualifying heat number 1, Micromax. What a race. There you have it. The best racing we've seen all day long. Granted, it is the first qualifying heat, but wow, what a fantastic race between the leaders, Mason Kwong and also what a race. So at the back there, let's take a look at the entire grid, and the provisional results are out right now. Qualifying heat number 1, Mason Alexander Kwong, followed by Chinapan, followed by Nutsarang, completing a podium position. Great move from the Thai driver there. And Tanach and Jirach, followed by Aruthiran, Ishan, Kalen, and Saif Zulkarnain, rounding up the entire 9-cart grid of Micromax qualifying heat number 1. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with you soon for the next category, Minimax, also going out for qualifying heat number 1. Today we will have 2 qualifying heats, and the action will continue then tomorrow. See you in a short while. once again, and we'll start the race. 8 laps of racing to go, and this will be approximately 8 minutes of racing itself. So we had the best action that we've seen. So we have a 5-card grid consisting of an entire grid of Minimax race cards out there, 125 cc's. Engines gonna go screaming down the main start-finish line there. So in pole position we have Tanawa and Jabuti, followed by Patapol, followed by Chayakon, Pierre Pongpan, Sutumno, and grid of 5 cards there. Going extremely slowly outside. Turn 11 wrong. This will be for the race. So they clean up extremely disciplined, and a bit of bumper cuts going on there. Everyone's going well. It's green flag. Racing there, all 5 of them now onto 3 wide into turn 1 there. Extremely ballsy move. I believe that is Pira Pongpan Sutumno moving up 1 position with that extremely wide, extremely big move out of turn 1s and 2, securing P3. Now going into Mickey Mouse, 8 laps to go. Leading the way from Patapol, starting RL, followed by Pira Pongpan, taking a move securing P3. He's now making his way slowly up the grid, and the yellow Singer card is firmly in the middle of the pack. Great action going up in front there. Tanawaran of DD Motorsports in the Sodi defending well from the there you go, Patapol on the inside there. The Stratos RL car taking the position and relinquishing it immediately. So Patapol now in the RL Stratos, choosing his fights, choosing his battles. He has to be careful because one wrong move and he could lose P2 as well. So this is now a war of attrition between Patapol and Patapol to see who makes the first mistake. Both of them going extremely safely at the moment, bumper to bumper, tail front to tail, and don't forget we have Pongpan Sutumno in Singha. Here you go, a move for Patapol, taking a position from Tanawara in the RL Stratos is your new race leader. And into turn 1 he goes. Whoa, there we go, contact there. Minor contact from Pira Pongpan there. The Singha car just barely touches the back of the RL Stratos car there. Shake of a head from the racers down there. It's been a bit of, wow, there we go, Pira Pongpan into the lead of the race there. The Singha card has now taken first position of the questionable driving, I would say. And now the pack is completely backed up together with order jumbled up completely. Now Pira Pongpan in the Singha card in the lead, followed by Patapol in the Stratos card, the second card that you see there. And Panawara, your race leader from the previous lap, is now in third position, followed by Chayapon behind them. One more lap into turn one. This is going to be the exciting part. Big braking zone down into turn 1s and 2, and Pira Pongpan taking already the defensive line. Will lose some traction down on the run to Mickey Mouse, but he has the inside line for the complex there. So let's see if he can do something there. Whoa! An opportunistic move from Tanawara there. What a move on the side of Patapol, getting back second position. But Tanawara, your pole position man, is now coming back with extremely high speed on Pira Pongpan, who essentially snatched the position from him, and he's now looking to bite back. That is Tanawara going down on Pira Pongpan, attacking him left, right, and center on the penultimate turn as well. This is lap number 5. We have another few more to go. Here we go, engineers now pushing them to go faster. There you have it. This is the 6th lap. Here we go, attack from Tanawara on Pira Pongpan. Oh, it's 3 wide into third turn. And here we go. Where did he come from? Chayakon, out of nowhere, just popped up, saying, hey, I'm here too. So now one position slipped down for fourth position. Chayakon, out of nowhere, came in and took third position. But the battle at the front is still on between Pira Pongpan and Tanawara. Tanawara, your pole position driver, obviously has a very high speed over 1 lap. But will he be able to apply that and convert that speed into racecraft on the track to take the position from Pira Pongpan? This is the 7th lap. We have 1 more to go. Another attack from Tanawara on Pira Pongpan. Pira Pongpan goes on the defense once again. Tanawara with the wider line coming in and out there. Pira Pongpan should have the inside line for the next turn there. He's looking right, he's looking left. Oh, it's a mess as they all go into Mickey Mouse there. Here we go. Patapol once again in the picture. He's now P2. Tanawara, your pole position driver, has slipped down to P3, potentially 4th now. Yeah, there you go. That's the nature of kart racing. Nail-biting, front-to-back action all over. And indeed, wow, Tanawara, your race pole position starting driver, has now dropped to the absolute back of the grid. Tanawara in P5. As we go last lap here, this will be the last lap of the race there. Pira Pongpan still in the lead there. Experience carrying him very well there. Patapol swinging outside, taking the inside line there. Oh, it's going to be difficult. A drag race down to turn the Mickey Mouse complex there. Chayakon still behind, sniffing, waiting. And Patapol there on the inside, but unable to close out the turn. And Pira Pongpan stays. And suddenly on the last lap here, Tanawara is gaining some speed, really aggressive on the throttle and slightly pushing Chayakon on the outside there. And that is Pira Pongpan still in the lead there. We know what will happen here. Now Pira Pongpan has the inside, has the outside, and now Patapol has the traction. Should be able to go on the inside with the right move. Penultimate turn, this is the final turn there on the inside. Oh, but blocked off by Pira Pongpan. Should not have enough traction. Oh, there you go. Tanawara got bumped, absolutely bumped onto the side there. And the pole position driver finished 5th. Pira Pongpan Sutumno, the Singha Motorsports driver, finishing in P1 with a great move on the outside on lap number 1, and some archie-parchie making him the race provisional race finisher winner. Pira Pongpan Sutumno Singha Motorsports, followed by Patapol, followed by Papa Sathorn, Chayakorn, and I think Tanawara had a bit of a come together towards the end of the race. Tanawara obviously not very happy with it, raising his hand at the line there. So here you go, 7 minutes and 24 seconds after Pierre Pongpan Sutumno is your race winner, followed by Patapol, followed by Papa Sath, Chayakorn, and Tanawarat. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to those of you joining us online and on the track. We have Junior Max going out for qualifying heat number 1 there. 10 laps to go. This was an exciting thing between Hamish Campbell, Taswang Siri, Nadal, Imjit Anya, Humsit Kamunjong, Sahil Singh Shah, Daing Abdurrahman, Anjun Yik, Xavier Fabrizio Santoso, rounding up the 10-card grid there. So at the front there we have Hamish Campbell and Lucas Labbert, the red Speckles RL, and the Lucas Labbert in the green Speckles RL card there, powering down into the second half of the track. They will soon have to bunch up. All the starts are the same. We have the same rolling start and tram line before we are able to start the race. This is going to be bunching up the entire grid for all of them. So 10 cards here, nothing too fancy, nothing too wide, nothing too many, nothing too little, just the perfect amount for a great race as they all go slow down the start finishing line. We have the cameras trained on the camera. We have our flag guys on ready. Race directors looking at this race. Green flag. It's a go. We're going racing, and immediately Hamish gets overtaken by Mika off the line there. A great move from reaction time from Mika, and takes the race lead at the moment there. In the back there, a bit of a chaotic start as the Singha cart is now pushing Motorsport cart as well. And Mika Slabbert is now firmly in the lead of the race at the moment. Hamish Campbell, your pole position driver, is now in P2. Nadal Imjipanya in P3. So great reaction time there from Mika Slabbert. He leapfrogs Hamish for the lead of the race now. Two-horse race with the rest of the grid following full speed behind as well. two out of the first two are slightly pulling away from the rest top three actually, correction there. Up three slightly pulling away from the rest of the pack there. As this is warming up and everyone's finding their own tempo and settling in for the round four. As this will be a 10-lap race for the first time this week. We have Junior Max, Heat number ones. We had this Mini Max and Hyper Max, which had 8 racing laps, and this is the first time we have 10 racing laps at Sepang International Circuit. At the moment, fastest lap time belongs to Mika Slabbert with a lap time of 52.005, but Hamish Campbell following close behind 52.09 there. The Pumsit Combination attacking trust one series of MIC racing that certified there. This is gonna be mission here. Here we go. Hamish is going for the aerodynamic push there into turns 1 and 2. Only behind the back of Mika Slabbert. Because not exactly pulling away, but quite comfortable in the lead at the moment with a 0.2 second lead over Hamish Campbell. WK Motorsport cart there, but right behind him is a four cart train of just one series Pumsit Combination and also Severe City. Incredible driving from the leaders there. Mika is definitely pushing on, but he doesn't look one big phased with the difficulties of handling his car around his track there. But the more important is in P2 behind ice cool veins. Not much movement there. Very calm, collected, and also basically just very calm, stable on the move. And he's definitely closing the gap himself and Mika Slabbert with very similar lap times over the gap time is only 0.2 into lap number 6. The exact same gap between all of them now. We are settling into a rhythm there. But bear in mind there are still time before the race, so drivers will have the opportunity to pass at a later time. But if you want to pass, you have to make sure you are in the right position to pass. Absolutely forever. Bump as one series straight again. Not being able to just close in and take the position from them. But at the front there, it looks like Hamish is starting to put down pressure on Mika Slabbert as he's getting ever so closer to the back bumper of the Stratos RL car in front of him. As they all power down the main start-finish line there, once again it is Hamish Campbell, calm, collected behind Mika Slabbert. Mika's been pushed really over here. And remember, your weekend is not won in a race, but it could be destroyed in a race. So Hamish there taking the right approach to Mika, definitely laying down rubber everywhere that he's going, comfortable, securing in the lead of the race. 7 out of 10 laps to go. 7 out of 10 laps completed with 3 to go. been given the go ahead, the green light, the hurry up time. You need to start to, if you are ever going to make it. This is lap number 8. You have 2 more laps to go. To consolidate every turn, you have to make sure mistake, and you have to put the other drivers under the absolute as much pressure as you can. 8 out of 10 laps complete today. So your race leader Mika Slabber there, putting in a quicker lap time than P2 man Hamish Campbell. So Mika is firmly in control of the pace at the moment there. Mika with the clear lead, and Hamish a close second, followed with a slightly different P3 man Nadal in Japan. In P3. P3 driver will be looking to close in on any opportunities should something happen to the race leaders. So Mika Slabber out in front, followed by Hamish Campbell in P2. As they come across the final turn to now cross the line to do one final lap. A final opportunity, but it is Mika setting down there. Mika is at track, and he's laying down the law for every. So Mika Slabber, where deep dive. Hamish Campbell, absolute last lap on Mika Slabber there. He now has the inside line for the next turn there. Whoa, there we go. Some action on the final lap there. And on the outside now, Mika has advantageous line. Will he capitalize? Out of nowhere. The turn there, Mika defending from Hamish Campbell. Hamish Campbell now settles in for P2. Nowhere came that move from Hamish Campbell on Mika Slabber. What a great defensive action from Mika as well, befitting of the name. So there you have it. This is Junior Max qualifying action. Loss of the stuff. Hamish Mika Slabber is your race winner, followed by Hamish Campbell, followed by Nadal, Imjit Panya, followed by Iri, Sid Munjong, Sahil Singh, Kian Shah, Daing Abdul Rahman, Jun Yik, and Xavier Fabrizio Santoso. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are joining us once again at the RMC. We have coming up next DD2 Masters qualifying number 1 there. We have 10 laps of racing. Race leader DD2 Tang, followed by Yang Chen, Scott Howard, and Jeremy Nyam. Five cards will be going out here for their qualifying heat number 1 there. Sepang is going to have a tough time defending from the 4 drivers behind him, but he has the speed to go today. So I am looking forward to this race to see which one of these DD2 drivers will come out on top. This should be fun. It should be interesting. It should be competitive as well. Hung Yi-Tang leading the way with Roger Young, Sepang, Scott Howard, and Jeremy Young in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, respectively. Here we go. Nothing really onto the track here. We're about to go racing there. It's green flag, and away we go. We are now racing into turn 1. Kenny Young with the lead, and Kenny Young surrendering the lead immediately at turn 1. Roger Young is your new race leader with Scott Howard in 2nd place there. Kenny Young losing 3 positions within the first 2 turns there. Jeremy Yam in 5th position, looking to come back from the back here as Roger Young now takes the lead, and Scott Howard is now P2. With P3 driver Chen Ping Hao and Kenny Ng slipping into 4th position. Not a great start for Kenny Ng, but definitely the race is long. With 10 laps to go, there might be still a chance for Kenny to show his speed where it matters. There leading the way out of the Mickey Mouse complex there with Scott Howard closing behind him. These cars have a gearbox. These are the only ones here to have a 2-speed gearbox, which is used either first, but a corner requires. So this is definitely a little bit tougher and requires a bit more mental preparation along to drive. So 1, 2. At the moment, Roger Young is at the front of the group. Roger Young now leading the way from Scott Howard as the lap 1, that's the lap number 1 there with a pack of 2s forming up. There, Kenny Yi-Tang in 4th position, trying to chase down Chen Ping Hao. He lost the positions at the start and now looking to recover them, but gap is definitely building between himself and Roger and Scott at the front. At the moment, Roger Roger Young with the second fastest lap time, because Scott Howard behind him has the fastest lap time at the moment, and we're looking to see if Scott can close that gap. Yes, indeed, he is closing the gap. The gap is now down to 0.248. And Chen Pinghao behind is one more second behind. Ng Yi Tang sticking to the gearbox of Chen Pinghao, and Jeremy Yam a further 0.7 seconds behind. But the battle is undoubtedly at the front, where Roger Young is now dealing with Scott Howard. Down to 0.248 and dropping further this lap as well, I foresee. Out of 10 there is Howard, and have also Pinghao third with Kenny Ng 1 second behind now. Kenny Ng almost in the grasp of Jeremy Yam. So a great qualifying bout for Kenny, but when it came to the qualifying heat start, he had a bit of a slow reaction off the line, and may have a technical error that has him jumped by Roger Young and his Scott. He's now down to 0.125 there. Oh, Scott Howard on the attack. On the inside, they did nearly touch. Front bumper to rear bumper, they almost touched. And now Scott Howard's in the lead, but Chen Pinghao is suddenly in the mix for action. He's had a hunt. He had the feeling, he has the bloodlust now. He wants to go for it. And to but will Chen Pinghao smell the 8th lap out of 10 here, and everyone now, the leaders are within 1 second of each other. Roger Young is now beat, and Scott Howard is your new race leader. But right behind him, on the back of his gearbox, is Chen Pinghao pulling out now as the wider line into turn 1 now. Chen Pinghao has the offensive line into turns 2, 3, and he's now on the attack as well. Oh, now, and Roger Young comes to cover it off to have the inside line for the Mickey Mouse complex there. But Chen Pinghao is not out. He wants to go for it. you have it. There you have it. This is the final lap, and they crossed the line to finish DD2. 5 cards. Howard in this heat with Roger Young following Chen Ping, Jeremy Young, and P5. After DD2 Max Masters, there you have it. This is your result. Scott Howard, Roger Young, Chen Ping Hao, Ng Yi Tang, Jeremy Young rounds up the entire grid of DD2 Max Masters. Coming up next, we have also we will have Senior Max and also Max Masters, Senior Max and Masters Max going out on track with the largest grid that we have here today, 26 go-karts out on track. I foresee this to be something pretty fun. I foresee some action, I foresee some touching appropriately, of course, and I see that we are going to have a blast in our final qualifying heat number 1 session for today. And immediately after that, after the next session, we will move on to qualifying heat number 2 as well, with the Micromax drivers coming back for another qualifying heat that will conclude their session for today. So today, all in all, we will end at qualifying heat number 2, and tomorrow we will resume action with the super heats and also the finals. All right. This is gonna be exciting. Our first qualifying heat here. 26 cards going out on track. This is gonna be exciting. Get your seats by the track side now, and if you're online, hello. Selamat datang ke Malaysia. Welcome Malaysia. So ladies and gentlemen here, welcome. You're looking at the Senior Max and Max Masters qualifying heat number 1. This is going to be fire. It's going to be exciting. This is going to be big. So all the races are still spread out pretty widely. All 26 of them, 13 per line, will have to come and bunch. They then go on to the tram lines at the start-finish line and start the race. This will be a lot of laps. This will be 12 laps of racing, the most that we have today. And your pole position driver is Toby Gale, and next to him is Zarif Raikal. Following behind is Feroz Fezril, Siri, Luke Armstrong, Krish Gupta. So all 26 are now in the tram lines. This is going on. We are green and on the way we go. The attack starts from Zarif Raikal, but now from Toby Gale, he covers off the first turn, and there is absolutely clean racing throughout the entire grid there. But now the problem is now Zarif Raikal is under attack from his own teammate, no less. Into the Mickey Mouse, Toby Gale getting a quick clean out in front there. So this is the very close action. Oh, and there we have it. Parts number 333 is out of the action. That is Tanmay number 1 there. A bit of a contact there, I assume, or some technical errors in the race now. But the action goes. Toby Gale there. Now Luke Armstrong on the move as well. Luke Armstrong in 4th position, and Austin Gale now in P5. Spin down number 1 there from one of the R Stratos cards that you can see. Action to come. Oh, here we go. That's the mid-pack battle going on there. I believe that is Brahim there fighting with Ahil McLeod into the sides as another, but there has been a position change with Armstrong now. Crossing, passing, take P4. So the change in the middle of the pack now. But at the front, it is still too. He's not the fastest part of the pack, but that the longest part. That is coming up in P5. Now should be P4 after overtaking Luke Strong, the other round there. Indeed, P4 coming up to and race. Zarif right. Want to see Gale in P4 chasing down the 2 DRM cards, place in podium, and Strong just right behind. Recon Siri following in P6 so at the front. Really, the man at the front is the guy on track. For 53.87, he is the pace setter out there. Once again, Toby Gale sets another lap record. Purple sectors for all as the first duel, and Austin Gale has basically fought with Zarif Raikal for the same piece of track, and Austin Gale came out on top. Austin now into the podium places. Third position now, will he be able to hold it there? Luke Armstrong seeing an opportunity in his green helmet there. He might be looking for a fight. So Luke Armstrong is now closing up to the back of Raikal. Austin Gale, one more position to go to be back of Toby Gale there. Fastest card on the track right now, the point there, and that is Austin Gale, the man to look after. Toby Gale there, your leader, out in front. From Austin, he has the confidence to take the line for Luke Armstrong. In front there, I believe Luke Armstrong had contact Zara, and that is not a good. And now in the fight as well, because the front they had a melee of coming together. Now Siri from Siri, gearbox of Luke Armstrong. You see, we are having to defend offense, defense in the part half of a lap. In the front there, Toby Gale, between Austin Gale and Mama Feroz is ever so slightly there. Move aggressive and fun. And there's a quick drive on the Austin Gale going up there, but the fastest lap still Toby Gale out in the track. 23. But Gale is eating away at the third lap. The gap is now down to 2/10. And for second position, Austin Gale versus Mama Feroz. With Toby Gale completely comfortable. Racing across the lap, 5 more laps to go. As Toby Gale leads away from Mama Feroz, Fezril, and Fezril just pulling out a bit of a gap from Austin Gale there. Austin Gale's difference and gap now drops to 0.5 of a second now. And basically inviting Zarif Raikal, Luke Armstrong, and Siri back into the fight as well. So this is for the podium positions. Austin Gale is in no ways safe from the chasing pack at the moment, but he is looking quite comfortable there. He just needs to clear Mohamed Feroz in front of him. Lap 9 out of 12, we are 2/3 over in this race there, with Toby Gale leading on in front there. Currently still setting the fastest laps out there. Austin Gale slowing down ever so slightly, and Mohamed Feroz has picked up speed here, going up from into P2, securing his positions out in front there. Back of the grid, let's go through the entire grid here. We have Toby Gale out in front, Mohamed Feroz Fezril, Austin Gale, followed by Zarif Raikal, followed by Luke Armstrong, Siri Kong Siri, Bayakon Aram Sarah Sami, Daing Ibrahim, Paul Michael Paul, Chris Gupta, Ahil Meklai, Lucas Leon, Lim Xiaoyan, Thomas Jacob, Tana Fop, Lakash Manish, Krishay Gutte, Zachary Chaichon, Megat Zulkarnain, Daniel Harris, Arif bin Zarel Al, Abu Ashami Zaintan, Paco Miguel Alpesh Kumar, and Tanmay Kotari, which has retired from the race. This is lap number 10, and you're looking at your race leader Toby Gale comfortable out in front there. As he crosses the line, it will be another 2 more laps to go before this race is called over. This is 3-2-2 Toby Gale, who is fast. Blistering lap time, and he's at the front of the grid. No one is coming close to Toby Gale. And at the back there, Daniel Harris just overtaken Megat Zulkarnain for P19. And that was the battle for P19 and 20th. Megat Zulkarnain has taken one position from, Daniel Harris one position from Megat Zulkarnain. Leaders will be coming in this time around to cross the line to start the last lap of this qualifying heat number 1 there, and none other than Toby Gale is in the lead of this race there. Gap is still there between Momaferos and Austin Gale. It remains to be seen if Austin will be able to make it up into P2. Determining the racing line that he wants to take, controlling his pace and controlling the lines that is available for us to take. So he has been a very strong defender there, as we see Toby Gale making the final turn and crossing the line to win the qualifying heat, followed by Momaferos Fezrail and Austin Gale finishing in P3. At the back there, Zareth Raikal P4, Luke Armstrong a strong P5, Siri Kong Siri P6, Bayakon and Sarami, Daing Ibrahim, Krish Gupta, Michael Ko, Ahil Meklai, Lucas Leong, Lim Xiaoyang, Thomas Jacob, Tana Fop, Krishe Gutte, Lakash Manish, Zachary Chaichon, followed by Daniel Harris Jagi, Megat Zulkarnain, and Harith bin Zairel O. Remaining of the cards have not finished the race and will not be classified under the finishers, which is Abu Ash Shami, Zaintan, Paco Mikhail, Alpesh Kumar, Tanmay Kothari, which had a lap 1 of retirement there. So there you have it. These are your provisional results for qualifying heat number 1. We will be back soon with qualifying heat number 2. See you soon. here we go. This is qualifying heat number 2. And this is the final heat that we will have. We'll start once again with the Micromax sections, the Micromax segment that we have. And this the best racing that we have had all day long, with Chinapat now once again at the front of the pack, dueling with Mason Alexander Kwong for a spot. These two clearly served up a really good action in the last. Oh wow, that's a bit of a contact there. These two clearly served up some really good racing action. The last qualifying one there with May eventually taking the flag of Chinapat. Around, let's see if the opposite is. They are all going down the straight start finish line. It's green and off we go. It's green, lights loud. It's basically flags out and away we go. Once again, Mason Kwong with whoa, moving in front there, but of a down in qualifying heat number 2 there. Not Sarang spin into 1 and 2 and getting left out behind the pack there. But here we go. Closing the door on Chinapat there. No room there. Maneuvered himself. And DD Motorsport racing his teammate Jiro. So there you go there as they cross the line for the first time in the race, and Chinapat Jambuti behind, followed by Jirak, his teammate DT Motorsports Carts behind all of them. Now this is getting really close. White lines there, not giving Chinapat any ideas to poke around on the insides there. Two wide goes on the back there. There's a position change there. I believe there's Arutharan on Jirak, and that's for P4s and P5. We look forward to see the board for the as they cross the line to update the positions. But in front there, Mason Alexander Kwong still up in front. Yes, indeed, it is Kalen Delcy moving up into P4 and Arutharan dropping back. Arutharan Prabhu, oh, at the front there. There's a move, and Chinapat is now back in the lead with now his teammate Jirak now surrounding them and basically boxing Alexander Kwong in ever so. This time around, it's not so smooth sailing at the front for Mason, but Chinapat will be take advantage and scamper off into the sunset. But let's see if this remains to be seen if Mason will allow this to happen. He's pushing really hard there, and especially towards the mid-pack battle. It is lighting up between the cars of 35 and Rutran Prabhu. Those two are dueling for positions there, crisscrossing each other on the back part of the circuit. I must say the man on the move there is definitely none other than Chinapat at the front of the pack with the lap time of 56.7. But besides him, it is P4 man and Delcy that is on the attack. The 35 car is only 210. Jirak Sutivana Roche. Vision from Jirak. Jirak running a little, looking to move and solidify this. Jirak Oh, there we go. An opportunistic move there. Number 5th car, Arutharan Prabhu. What a great move, taking the place from number 35, Kailan Delsi. So number 5th car, Arutharan Prabhu there with a great move down into turn 1 and 2 there. Leaving Jira once again to fend for that podium position. Number lead at the front there. Pace, he's the Masters with a lap time of 56.58, setting purple sectors all around. So Mason Alexander Kwong is on the hunt. And the fight there is on again. Jira defending really well. Kailan there trying to sniff an opportunity to cut and dive on the inside there, but not given the space to do that. Clean racing across the entire grid here so far, with Chinafat leading at the front only half a second from Mason Wong. As of the last lap, Chinafat has once again set the fastest lap of the entire session. Jira has and go. That's a bit of a wide move from I believe is Arutharan, and it's going on to the last. He pretty on the side by side with the Jira, takes 2 and manages to control the cart really well there. So great footwork and control. Arutharan offense trying to take that podium position away from picking up one. Now he back around traction there. Arutharan the proper racing line. There. Final lap. Shinapan crosses the line here. One more. One, I think. Out now. Prabhu dragged down to Mickey Mouse Complex. He has speed, but will he have the line to go past? He has the. Swinging back now. As the defense, he's going to go deep on for sure. 100% covering of the inside. Now Arutharan on the but takes the position. Arutharan there and is now in P4 as we now look. Leaders, but going to cross front of Mason. Giraffe now is in P3. He comes across and Kailan Delsi takes final. So there you have it. This is position for the Micromax qualifying heat number 2. So great racing from all involved there, but dominant performance from Chinafat Vijayaputi at the front there of DT Motorsports. He controlled the pace. He has the fastest lap time at the end of the race. So congratulations to Chinafat Vijayaputi winning the qualifying heat number 2 of the Micromax section, the Micromax division here. So Mason Alexander Kwong in P2, followed by Jirach, followed by Kailan Delsi. A great move to steal P4 on the absolute last lap. Arutharan, great duel, and manages to finish P5 there, but definitely looking out for more performance the next time around. Tanach in P6, Nutsurang having spun around in P7, Zaif Zulkarnain and Ishan Swarup rounding up the 9-card grid of Micromax qualifying heat number 2. We'll be back with more action. So we have Minimax qualifying number 2 happening. All 5 cars are cruising slowly to the start finish line and line up and start the race. So last time around, Pirapong Pansutum in the Singha won the race and with an aggressive green flag, and away we go. This is racing. Look out for Singha car. He was the race winner. He have an aggressive move outside. Yes, exactly a carbon copy from the first race itself. One Tumno there, exactly move. So this is it. This is a carbon copy of the same move. 8 laps to go. Will we see the same outcome this time around as Tanawarat once again is in the lead of the race, followed by Patapol in P2. Eventually, they didn't win the race the last time around, but really close. And Pirapongpan was the one who that time around. But this time, this lap, exact same move down into turns number 1 and 2. The 1-2 complex got the same. Second lap there, we have the same race leader. Now following behind is Patapol, followed by Pirapongpan. Sayakon there was in P4. Last time around, this driver did a surprising last lap move and that almost resulted in a position gain, but ultimately did not manage to complete that. So without further ado, I think they are going to resume action here. But this time, Tanawarat has to defend from Patapol. As Patapol is no longer holding back, he's going at it even from the second lap here, trying to overtake Tanawarat there. The racing is getting exciting. This is Minimax qualifying heat number 2 there, and both drivers are driving so beautifully on this track there, just following with discipline. And that's Patapol, obviously well coached, well thought, and well trained, well drilled driver. Driving to the dots, driving to a target time there, driving to a target to follow behind Tanawarat and seize the opportunity. Out of 8 there. As they cross the line, it will be 5 more to go. As they cross the line, it's 5 more to go, and Tanawarat qualifying heat number 2 for Minimax. But Patapol is really close. This time around, Chayakon has a piece of Pirapongpan. Pirapongpan seems to have lost a bit of the magical pace that he had the last time around. Pirapongpan just got past Chayakon. Not giving up. He has now. He's gonna have. Oh, so close. Touch. They touch. And out of the Mickey Mouse complex there, basically a drag race down to the next turn. They had a bit of a touch then after Pongpan has the outside line, but now Chayakon should have the racing line for the next turns. I suspect this will be for position, and Chayakon will hold on to the P3 position. Podium places for Chayakon as they go into lap number 5 now with 4 more to go. So Patapol only point nine with 3 more laps to go. Pirapong Pansutumno this time around P4 and to the front of the pack. Piria pace pulling away from everyone else where it matters. Patapol not being able to close in for an attack. Definitely close, but not close enough for an attack. So that's Tanawara now leading away from Patapol. But being this close, you are still susceptible to a last lap lunge from just about any driver on the grid right now. So Tanawara has to be very wary of where Patapol is placing his cart in relation to his, because that determines what will happen the next time around. So coming to cross the line with 2 more laps to go. This is the penultimate lap. Tanawara still in the lead there, but Patapol closing ever so slightly into attacking range there. This is going to be a tense 2-lap race for Tanawara versus Patapol there. And Chayakon has secured and locked in 3rd place, the podium placing position from Pirapong. Once again, Patapol closing the gap on Tanawara. This is the penultimate lap, so 1 more to go as they cross the line. This will be for final lap. This is going to be for the results there. So who's going to come across the line and take the checkered flag first? At the moment, it is still Tanawara. But here we go. Patapol, disciplined driving all this time. He's on the attack. He's going to go on the inside, will he? He's not. He's still on the outside there. Patapol really disciplined driving, not choosing to attack down this place, and now into Mickey Mouse there. He's still not attacking Tanawara just yet, but waiting for the right opportunity to slam the door in Tanawara's face once and for all and end this contest. But still, Patapol is still in P2. Will he follow Tanawara all the way to the line there? Only a few more turns remain, and this remains to be seen. But Patapol's gap is now 0.0116 as the last time they crossed the checkered flag. He will not make it in time there though. I think Patapol will cross the line in P2, securing his position there. So congratulations to Tanawara winning the qualifying heat number 2, with Patapol finishing P2, followed by Chayakon, Pirapongpan and Papata. So there you have it. This is your results. Tanawara in P1, followed by Patapol. Controlled race from the first 2, and a great result from Chayakon, and followed by a not so great result for Pirapong Pan Situmno, followed by Papasa Silapalapeng. Silapapaneng. out comes Junior Max. Line up to start of this race. And great battle on this side between Hamish Campbell and Mika Slabbert the first time around, as they all now lining to get into the tram lines. It's green flag, and away we go once again. Mika Slabbert with the absolute powerful acceleration down the main strip, but this time Hamish Campbell manages to stay in front there, and this will change up this race somewhat, as Mika will now be forced to come from the back to try to attack Hamish to take first place. And now, wow, oh, Mika, oh, they touch, absolutely no space, nothing given between Mika Slabbert and Hamish Campbell, and they touch each other. That's a big one between multiple cars there. Fortunately, no one was forced to stop. There was no significant damage there. This is at the latest time, because there was definitely clearly no space given, and Mika Slabbert went on the outside there a little bit too aggressively and did not manage to control his car, and basically punted into the side of Hamish Campbell there. So Mika Slabbert, the car that is at fault there, yeah. So we'll have to investigate these cases when it happens, but definitely a very messy start at the start of the Junior Max. Slides off into the barriers at the Mickey Mouse complex there. So unsafe entry of track that's suspected for Mika Slabbert. And this is going to be an action down there at the steward's room for Mika. Let's take a look at what happens. But at the moment now, Hamish Campbell is definitely the one that is struggling, and has an Hamish, Nadal, and just Wang Siri. They have it to the back of the pack here as a result of actions that happen. But Mika Slabbert is now still in the lead of the race here in the Struthouse RLL card there. The 2:15 in the lead there with a lap time of 52.947. But fastest guy on track is none other than Campbell, currently running P7, and has unfortunately been punted just now at the incident out of the Mickey Mouse complex there. So a complicated start to Junior Max there. Some things to look at after this race, and this will be a highly charged race to complete. So interesting actions for us neutrals out there though. This is really good racing and really fun to watch. So let's see if the leaders can claw back their positions and climb back up there, because at the moment Hamish is in P7, 5.4 seconds behind, and their fellow racers Nadal and Tuss are also 8 and 9 there. So clearly and Hamish are clocking lap times that are quicker than the carts in front of them. So let's see what will happen to this moving forward. I'm looking forward to see position number 7, Hamish, climb back up, as he is now the fastest kart on the track there. And we can see here, this is clearly the RL kart of Hamish Campbell moving up the grid. So Sahil Singh defending from Ung Jun Yik there. Ung Jun Yik looks like he's smelling blood there. He's going to go for the offensive there. Sahil Singh on the outside now, coming to the inside there. Sahil Ung Jun Yik closing up the space and going for the attack on Sahil Singh into Mickey Mouse now. He's on the outside, he's on the inside. Where is he going to be? And Sahil Singh just prods on and powers on out of Mickey Mouse with now behind him Ung Jun Yik. And the man on the move there is indeed Hamish Campbell there, 52.205 there. But the quickest man on the track has to be Mika Slabbert out in front with the 52.092 there. Quite fortunate to get away from the crash there, but definitely something will be investigated after the race. So let's see here once again. This is Sahil Singh defending from Jun Yik here. Jun Yik with Sodi card and Sahil with the green Stratos RL card there. But behind them is coming the Stratos RL of Hamish Campbell, just right. You can see him coming closer to the rest of the two of them. And I believe Hamish will be trying to make his way up once again. But out at the front there, look at that. Mika Slabbert putting in a lap time of 52.0 and Kian Shah 52.1 there. But once again, as I said, the man on the move, none other than Hamish, lap time of 51.967. The leaders cross. This time it will be 4 laps to go. 4 more laps to go before we end this contest here. And you're looking at the tracks of 250, 258. That's tough. Down the door. Pumsit Klommunjong here. The man that we have not actually been following at all, but silently sitting in a great podium position. P3 there is Pumsit Klommunjong in the Singha Motorsports card there. So push on is the order from the team as well. Push it on. So Mika Slabbert there. Oh, here we go. Hamish Campbell on the inside now takes the position from Sahil Singh, and also I believe that should be Jun Yik as well. So there you go, Hamish Campbell carving his way up the grid once again after that incident down at lap 1. Still in P5 there, still the gap the Plums definitely going to high, too much, too little, too soon for him to finally catch it up. But Hamish is definitely looking like the driver on the move there with the fastest lap time of 51.7. From the lap 1 incident, swinging comeback, and now a 2.7 second gap to Pumsit Klommunjong in front of him. As of now, as of this lap, it will be 2 more laps to go. This is your race leader, Mika Slabbert. That is now in P1 with 2 more laps to go. He will be crossing the line, the start-finish line, and he will be going for his final lap very shortly. And behind him is Kian Shah, followed by Pumsit Klommunjong, followed by Hamish Campbell, followed by Sahil Singh, Jun Yik, Nadol Imjit Panya, Tas Muang Siri, Xavian Fabrizio Santoso, and Daing Abdul Rahman. So this is it. This is the final lap. As our leaders all cross the start-finish line to start one final lap. The leader is still Mika Slabbert out in front with the 2:15 card, followed by Kian Shah, followed by Pumsit Klommunjong, which is currently the fastest driver on track right now. Pumsit Klommunjong silently in his Singha Motorsports car climbed up to 3rd position as a result of an incident, stayed there on merit, and is now going to finish as the fastest driver on the track. And there you have it. Crosses the line, takes the checkered flag, is Mika Slabbert, followed by Kian Shah, followed by Pumsit Klommunjong, followed by Hamish Campbell, Sahil Singh, Jun Yik, Nadol Imjit Panya, Tas Muang, Daing Abdul Rahman, and finally, last but not least, Xavian Fabrizio Santoso. And provisional result for qualifying heat number 2 of Junior Max. Definitely very interesting for us to watch here. Mika Slabbert in P1, followed by Kian Shah, Pumsit Klommunjong, Hamish Campbell, Sahil Singh, Jun Yik, Nadal Imjit Panya, Taswong Siri, and Daing Abdul Rahman, and followed by Xavier Fabrizio Santoso. So that's it for Junior Max, and their action will continue tomorrow, where they will embark on a super heat and also the finals. So until then, we'll see you at the next race happening in a few minutes time. It will be qualifying heat number 2 for DD2 Masters. Alright, so we have now the qualifying heat number 2 for DD2 Masters. These carts are the only ones on track with a gearbox of 2 speeds, and they will be coming down the street. They will be fastest on acceleration. Green flag, and away we go. Once again, Kenny Ang on the pole position, overtaken instantly by Scott Howard and Roger Young there. And he might just lose another more position to Chen Ping Hao. Yes, he does. So once again, Kenny Ang has a horrible 2 corners there. Perhaps it's a cut related. Losing 3 positions on the start. He being this pole position man, lost 3 positions at the start of the race twice. But this time around, Roger Young is closing and moving out in front. And Scott Howard and Chen Ping Hao is now driven out for the second position. And Jeremy now, the surprise man that is coming around attacking. He was P5 the last time around, and now he is in P4. Here we go. And Roger Young just made a mistake there, and Roger lost positions and now he is behind P5. I believe should be a technical issue with the cart there. His cart doesn't really look too healthy. May not have the power to continue finishing the race. Roger Young absolutely slipping behind there in this 10 lap race. So indeed, Roger Young has pulled off into the pits. I believe that would be a technical issue with the cart, and he's unable to continue any further, holding his head up in disgust, I think, just now. And that's the reality of racing. Sometimes your equipment fails you, sometimes the driver fails the equipment, but this time around, Roger Young was let down by his car. I believe there was something that happened to him, and he was unable to now continue. And Scott Howard leading the way up in front. And position. Kenny Ng slipping back to fourth position once again. Move right now is both Chen Ping Hao and Jeremy Nyam both clocking lap times that are quicker than Scott Howard in front. But Scott Howard has the 1.1 second gap lead. Not likely to relinquish anytime soon. Chen Ping Hao pushing on together in tandem with Jeremy Nyam as they try to go to the front of the pack there. But at the moment, we are only left with a 4-cart race between the DD2 Master categories. So this is only a 4-cart race because Roger Young has unfortunately retired from the race. Could have been a gearbox issue or could have been an engine issue for Roger Young, but definitely a retirement there for him as he did not continue the race there. But on track right now, it is shaping up to be spicy as Chen Ping Hao, your second position man, is now the fastest car on track, followed by Jeremy Nyam and Kenny Ng as well. In fact, Scott Howard is the lowest car on track at the moment. Chen Ping Hao is putting down the pressure, upping the pace, and getting closer to Scott Howard with every single lap. Only 4 more to go until we end this race for the DD2 Masters qualifying heat number 2. And Scott Howard, very comfortable, perhaps but he is definitely not feeling the pressure at the moment, with Chen Ping Hao still 0.7 behind him. Timing beam once again here. It is once again close the gap just slightly to Scott Howard in P1. So Scott is now only 0.5 of a second away from Chen Ping Hao. On the screen there, Chen Ping Hao is really very close to Scott Howard. Cross the line one more time there. The gap from Chen Ping Hao on Scott Howard is shrinking even more now. With Chen Ping Hao clocking in the absolute quickest lap of the session, 50.341. Purple for Chen Ping Hao, as Scott Howard surely now has to feel the pressure of the DD2 car behind him with only the gap down to only 0.173. He is now going to have to start turning his head around to see where Chen Ping Hao is going to place his car coming the next turns. Scott Howard maybe getting a bit too comfortable out there, having basically a single man race all the way until now, but Chen Ping Hao is the man on the right now with the pace to destroy everything that is happening on the track right now. Scott Howard, 9 out of 10. Final lap for the DD2 Max Master race. Here we go. If there's any attack to come, it surely has to be this lap. But 0.2 seconds behind. Chen Ping Hao is still just a little bit too wide and too far away for a last-minute lunge into the third. So he's been very patient, coming out of Mickey Mouse there. Chen Ping Hao has a more optimized line out of Mickey Mouse. Will he be able to dive down on Scott Howard in any one of these final few turns that are to come? At the moment, they are looking bumper to tail to front. And Chen Ping Hao has the pace advantage, but does not have the position to finish correctly. So, final turn there. Chen Ping Hao trying all he can. But Scott Howard comes home and takes the win, takes the checkered flag for the DD2 Max Masters heat number 2. You have it. These are the results for this qualifying heat number 2. We have Scott Howard in front, followed by Chen Ping Hao, followed by Jeremy Nyam, Ang Yi Tang, and Roger Young. Roger unfortunately seems to have suffered from some sort of technical issues and did not continue the race past the first lap. So there you have it. This is DD2 Max Masters. Their session will continue tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the final qualifying heat of today, which is the maximum packed, super packed Senior Max and Max Masters with a grand total of 26 cards. Although we hear from the vineyard that one card might not be able to continue today, definitely due to some damage. But we are looking forward to a grid of packed full of a racing cards out there with Senior Max and also Max Masters going out for racing. This will be one of the most spiciest encounters that you can see here, and this looks like something that is pretty interesting. Last time around, Toby Gale took the win and was completely dominant at the front there, with Austin Gale making up positions from the back, and interesting fights at the front with the other cards as well, including Luke Armstrong, Sirikong Siri also out there in front. But the provisional starting grid is as such. We have the DRM guys also in the mix there with a great defensive drive from Mohammad Feroz Fezril, and Toby Gale out in front. Zarif Raikal is on his left, followed by Mohammad Feroz Fezril behind the provisional race leader and also current P1. Behind there we have also Sirikong Siri, Luke Armstrong, Krish Gupta, Austin Gale. Austin Gale was one of the guys on the move the last time around, and Paya Korn, Michael Cole, Dang Ibrahim, Ahil McLean, Tana Fob, Lucas Leong, Paco Miguel, Zachary Chaichon, Lakash Manish, Thomas Jacob, Daniel Harris, Lim Xiao Yang, Alpesh Kumar Patel, Krishay Gute, Tanmay Kothari, which retired from the race, perhaps due to a technical issue, Harold bin Zairil, Zain Tan, Megat Zulkarnain, and Abu Ash Shami. All right. If you are not yet tuned in, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. This is qualifying heat number 2 and Max Masters. This will be the final qualifying heat for today. This is the final race for today. All 25 cards are now out on the... Will be a spicy start of the race there. Last time, Gale got away and tempered away off into the... Zarif Raikal, Feroz Fezril, Sirikong Siri, Luke Armstrong were left to fight for the positions behind. Let's go, it is green. Away we go, and Angry Swammobi is coming down into lap turn 1 there. Clean move from everybody all around there. What a great move there from everybody, absolutely everyone on the grid there. But Luke Armstrong just losing a position for the P5. And here we go. Toby Gale up in it. Roma Feroz there is in second place there with Austin Gale trying position. Ooh, lucky to catch that. Very, very lucky to catch that. The card of Alpesh, either Krishay Gute or Alpesh Kumar. So lucky to catch that. That would be disastrous for some of the drivers out there. But fortunately they caught it there. And go into lap 2. Toby Gale into first place. Zarif Raikal dropping one position into P2. Feroz Fezril again, once again up into P2. Zarif Raikal into P3. Siri Kong Siri up into P4 now. Luke Armstrong dropping a position into P6. Austin Gale is in P7. And if the last race to be believed, he is your man to look out in this 12-lap race. There you have it, great move from the 367 as Krishay Gute. That's a great move down as we look into, here we go. Krish Gupta of Stratos RL is on the move there, just overtaking Siri Kong Siri for P4 there. It's a great move. And down the grid as well, we have Austin Gale losing a position to Ahil McLeod. And Austin Gale now back into P11 actually. So not a great start for the second Gale driver there. So Toby Gale up in front, setting the pace with a lap time of 50.9. He's definitely the fastest car on the track right now, but Austin Gale not being able to be back there. He has the speed, we know he has the speed, but navigating traffic is definitely something that is not easy and will cost you valuable time in the attempt to make up lap time in this race here. So there you have it. That is Austin Gale's race. Toby Gale now in the front once again. As we enter lap number 4, we have the entire grid moving ever so slightly. Now Austin Gale making up one position up into P10, and Payakon also making up one position. Michael Kaur and Ahil McLeod losing one position each. Alpesh Patel at the end moving up into 19, and Zachary Chaichon back into 20th. Austin Gale is the man on the move once again. He is the fastest kart on track right now. The P9 man from MRC Racing. 50.569 there. Even faster than your race leader, Toby Gale. Commentary must be to the PRM Racing team there. Fezril and Zarif Raikal own up there, holding same pace with Toby Gale, although 1 second behind Eric Feroz and Zarif Raikal. It's here easy to keep pace with the race leader here. Race leader Toby Gale, now once again the fastest guy on the track. So lap 6 out of 12, 7 to go. Toby Gale up in front there. Oh, here we go. There's a bit of content there with the 350 cart there. So the 350, Zarif Raikal brushing the back of his teammate Mohamed Fezril. Just ever so slightly brushing the back. The leader is a bit out of reach for both of them now. So between the DRM teams and also the RL, the leader is just a little bit touch. But at the moment, the man on the move is back. He has been trading Austin, and they are the carts to look after Toby Gale once again. lap 7, fastest lap of the entire grid, 50.347 there. So Toby Gale there, very, very fast indeed. And now Mohamed Feroz Fezril is starting to put down the speed here. He is co-fastest lap with Toby Gale up in front there. Running P2 is extremely quick. Mohamed Feroz Fezril. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. The 331 car has been turned around, and that is surely going to the back of the grid for cart. Has been turned around and definitely will be going back to the back of the grid there. So lots of actions as the leader come around. There's 3 more laps to go. Here we go. See Austin Gale attempting a move that clips the wheel and got flipped around, completely self-inflicted. There's only one drop, Austin Gale dropping all the way back to 19th position, but the rest of the grid remains in the same exact position that they are. Battles are strictly intricate with Mohamed Feroz in P2, Zarif Raikal in P3 fighting it out for the podium places, who stands on a higher step in the podium, and Krish Gupta and Siri Kong Siri fighting amongst themselves as well to see who gets to go higher up there. But Gupta will have to keep his foot in the podium places. This is the penultimate lap. There is only one more lap to go the next time the leaders come across the start-finish line, and this is critical for position. This is critical for finishing position. So either Krish or Gupta, which you're seeing on the screen right now, on Siri, will have to push on to try to hit those positions there. But at the moment there, it is the DRM team leading away the Stratos RL teams on track itself. And as the first, Toby Gale up in front, 1.6 seconds away, is in a dominant position to be, serves you well to qualify at the top of the grid. And he's now pulling away with it. The leaders are coming around this time around for the final lap. This will be the final session. Oh, here we go. A great move from Siri Kong Siri on his teammate Krish Gupta there. So Siri is now in P4, but will he be able to hold on to the position there? Teammates fighting it out for the position. Here we go. Siri has the in. He secures that position. Siri Kong Siri moves into P4. Still fighting it out with Krish Gupta for P4 position, as surely now our race leader is coming home to finish and take the checkered flag there. The battle continues on between Siri and Krish Gupta as well. Here we go. The leader crosses the lap, crosses the track, takes the checkered flag and wins the race. And at the back there, we have Siri Kong Siri finishing P4 ahead of Krish Gupta there. So that's Toby Gale from Mohamed Feroz Fezril, Zarif Raikal, Krish Gupta, Luke Armstrong, Daing Ibrahim, Payakon Aram Sami, Cole Mike, Luke Leong, Hill McFly, Lim Xiaoyang, Lakish Manish Barna, Daniel Harris Jegi, Krishay Gutte, Tana Fop, Alpesh Kumar, Paco Miguel, Austin Gale in P19 after that. Megat Zulkarnain, Thomas Jacob George, Harith bin Zaire O, Zintan, Zachary Chaichi, Abu Shami and May Kothari. Start. So there you have it. This is the results for our qualifying heat number 2 for the Senior Max and Max Masters. And as of now, that concludes our action for today because this will be the final heat that we are running today. Everything will resume tomorrow with super heats and also the grand finals. So those of you who are with us on track and also on stream, thank you for tuning in. My name is Kelvin. I will see you tomorrow for more action at the RMC Asia Trophy Round 2 in Sepang International Karting Circuit. Thank you and see you soon.